Ramona, we've got Clint Capela on ESPN.com listed as the top available free agent left. What do you see happening with Clint Capela?
Well, I think as things stand right now, he looks like a guy who has to decide if he's going to sign that qualifying offer and then enter unrestricted free agency next year. That's a big risk for the Houston Rockets to take because he has become part of their big three. But from what I understand, his initial meeting with the Rockets didn't go as he was expecting it to. There's not a big long-term offer out here that he feels comfortable signing right now. And he's been talking to other teams. The problem is nobody really has the cap space to make a compelling offer to make Houston nervous that he could potentially leave or even to match that offer sheet. And so he's got a tough decision to make. Do you take a chance, sign the qualifying offer, and then enter unrestricted free agency next year? I think he's leaning towards that, but there's still a long ways to go in this offseason.
Yeah, a lot of times teams are gambling on players, and in reality, sometimes players have to gamble on themselves. One of the players we're talking about that's not on the top 5 list of players, Isiah Thomas. Ooh. What a difference a year makes. Coming off hip surgery and traded to the Lakers after not fitting in with LeBron and the Cavs in Cleveland. What's the latest, Ramona, on where IT will land?
Well, he just lost one of his biggest leverage chips here, one of his best options when the Lakers went and got LeBron James. They obviously have filled out their roster. They don't have much cap space left. And I know they had an interest in bringing Isiah Thomas back on a one-year deal, sort of a short-term deal, because they liked what he gave them last year. He came in, was a great veteran presence, but now with LeBron James in town, they've already filled out their backcourt. They don't have nearly enough salary cap space to give him the kind of contract he's looking for. So he's going to have to wait, and he may end up signing a veteran minimum deal or a mid-level exception. It's unbelievable to me where he's gone from one year to the next, but wherever he hooks on, I wouldn't count that guy out. I just saw him a couple of weeks ago at the draft. The draft ended. It was about 11 o'clock at night. We were all heading home. Guess who was in the Laker gym shooting buckets? The last pick in the draft from when his draft year was Isiah Thomas.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that when he gets that opportunity, he's going to play with a chip on his shoulder to prove that so many teams messed up on that. More basketball with our NBA insider, Ramona Shelburne. And Ramona, a lot of people have been questioning the moves the Lakers have made since getting LeBron. But you say LeBron is all in on these moves. What does that mean?
Well, look, you saw LeBron sign with the Lakers, and then the next 3 off the board were Lance Stevenson, Rajon Rondo, JaVale McGee, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I mean, that doesn't sound like the type of players that LeBron generally likes to play with or succeeded. Usually he needs shooters around him to space the floor. But Brian Windhorst and I have a story up on ESPN.com today explaining how Magic Johnson and LeBron James had a real heart-to-heart about the type of players he wants to play with and the type of his vision for his role with the Lakers going forward. He understands he's going to be 34 in December. He's going to have to change his game. He can't necessarily be 1-on-5 again, and he will do what Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant did as they got into their mid-30s, which is play more in the post, be the guy finishing those drives, not necessarily creating all the time. So LeBron wanted playmakers. He wanted guys who were tough defensively, who could switch, because when you get a bunch of players who are great shooters or who are specialists, sometimes they become defensive liabilities against a great team like Golden State, against a great team like Houston that has great shooters. And he saw that and said, well, let's zig where other people have zagged. They went out and got playmakers. Very combustible, emotional playmakers like Lance Stevenson, Rajon Rondo. But it's going to be fascinating to see how this all works, especially with those guys on one-year deals. But this is what LeBron and Magic Johnson talked about. This is what he wanted.
Yeah, Showtime's going to take on a completely different meeting on and off the court with some of these guys that followed LeBron after they got him with the Lakers. Now, I want you to listen to the sound from our Tim Legler, who has concerns about LeBron, Lonzo playing together.
I don't really honestly know how Lonzo Ball plays with LeBron James. I don't. LeBron's going to have the ball. So people can say, and I've heard some people saying already, well, they can kind of share it. It's going to be Lonzo throwing the ball ahead to LeBron on the break. And no, LeBron James is going to end up with the basketball. That's what he's done his entire career. For Lonzo Ball, that's going to be difficult playing off the ball. That's a problem, and I wouldn't be surprised if now the Lakers sort of look at the long-term future with Lonzo Ball a lot differently.
Okay, Lonzo's the easiest player to point out and say, where does he fit in? I'll ask you, where does he fit in, Lonzo Ball, in their long-term plans?
Well, the Lakers discussed that with LeBron James, and he likes Lonzo Ball. He flat out said, I like his game, and I'm excited to play with him, and he is a playmaker. And you look at, Legs is right on the money. I think LeBron is going to end up with the ball no matter what he says about, I want to be in the post or I want to be the guy finishing drives. he's going to be the guy with the ball in his hands. And so Lonzo Ball is a great facilitator and playmaker, but as we know, he can't shoot. He shot 30% from behind the three-point arc this year, and it's something he's going to have to work on to develop his game. What the Lakers are hoping is that if he plays with pace, if they play with pace, they played with the third fastest pace in the league last year, that some of that is mitigated. Some of the shooting woes are mitigated. But what Legs points out, most of the time LeBron ends up in the half court. He has the ball in his hands, and he needs shooters around him. That's not Lonzo Ball.
I would leave and get a vacation while you can, because with this Lakers team, storylines, trades, you're going to be busy from training camp on. Ramona Shelburne with us on SportsCenter. Ramona, thank you.